few seconds of distraction can really change your life forever. Joining us this morning is Lieutenant Herbert Taft with the San Diego County Sheriff's Department with what will get you pulled over and fined, and most importantly, what you need to know to stay safe on the roads. It's interesting, when a lot of folks think of distracted driving, they think of texting or talking on the phone, but it really encompasses a whole lot more than that, right?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Pets, eating, shaving, newspaper, books, yelling at your kids in the back.
What's the worst you've ever seen?
The worst I've seen is a person reading their book and driving.
Oh my goodness.
And just not really paying attention to the road
reading
at all.
their book and driving.
Totally just reading their book.
And what people don't realize, too, is it can just happen so fast.
Oh, absolutely.
The car in front of you breaks, a child runs out on the road, whatever it is, and lives can change forever.
Yeah, for the normal person, it takes about a second to react. But when you're texting, that's about 5 seconds. And traveling 60 miles an hour, you can easily travel the length of a football field, just that quick.
All right, we've recruited Raul and Chrissy to be our demonstration drivers. Who knows what could happen in this segment. Let's talk about, first of all, Chrissy has a pet on her lap. The distractions you can encounter when you have your animal in the car with you.
Well, first of all, if something does happen, your pet kind of can be thrown all over the place, so you can really injure your pet. Your pet could scratch you or somehow draw attention away from your driving. And
I'm
again,
glad you're not watching what Chrissy's doing, because you're staying very focused. I appreciate that. I appreciate the information you're giving us.
Traditionally, we think of cell phones and texting, but pets also can be a distraction.
Next, a thing I see a lot, people putting on makeup when they're driving in the car, and I've been guilty of this myself. And again, you don't realize how very distracting this can be.
Yes, I've never been guilty of that one, but I've seen people do that.
Sure.
And that's another. That's a less common distraction when you're driving.
Also, eating in the car. A lot of times in the morning on the way to work, I see people with their bowls of cereal and a spoon driving down the road. Yeah,
guilty of that one too. I have occasionally had the hamburger or the drink, but yeah, those are all factors in your driving. When you're driving, you should be paying attention to the road, and eating, makeup, pets, all fall under distracted driving. Okay,
next, let's talk about the radio. A lot of folks don't think the radio is a hazard at all, because a lot of folks feel like I can just look at the road and change it, but I'll admit my accident that I had when I was a teenager was because I was changing the radio.
Right, yeah, the radios can be a huge distraction, and just about every car has a radio in it. People change the station. With some cars, they have the buttons on the steering wheel, which is better, but the ones that don't, you have to look down, you have to see it. And again, it's just a couple more seconds that you don't have to react to.
What do you want to say to parents that maybe have kids in the back seat or other passengers in the back seat? I feel like that can be one of the biggest distractions when you get in a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden you've gone a couple of miles and you don't even remember it.
Yeah, you really, if you're going to address your kids, turning around and addressing them really increases the dangers of you getting into an accident. If you need to pull over to maybe address an issue that your kids are having in the back seat, that's probably the safest way to do it.
I've done that plenty of times. I will pull this car over if you keep doing that. You've done that too? Chrissy's probably done that as well. I will pull it over.
We reiterate, at a stoplight, you cannot look at your phone.
Raul, this is not your segment.
Sorry.
We will reiterate that for Raul. We'll throw him a bone.
Yeah.
Can you throw the guy a bone so he'll keep quiet?
Yeah, you actually, you can't, just because you're stopped doesn't mean that you can legally still
look at your phone. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't realize that. They think, well, I'm stopped.
Yeah.
You steal my wine segment here.
That's an important tip, actually. Yes. That's an important tip.
Cute.
How do you what?
How do I look at my map?
Oh, the maps. Good point. Maps when you're driving and stuff, when you're trying to get to your next location.
Well, it's not a violation to look at your GPS, just like it's not a violation to change your radio. When it becomes an issue is when it affects your driving. So if you're driving unsafe, then that's when you can be stopped, pulled over, and cited for something under distracted driving.
What can you be looking at cost-wise when you're looking at a ticket for getting pulled over?
Typically, a distracted driving ticket started at about $161, and then another one after that will double and then they'll just continue to go up the more you get.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yeah,
it's
not a
really,
problem.
really important. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Great job getting the awareness out. Raul wants to talk
I have a
again.
question. I have a
Yes,
You know,
Raul.
this is a pet peeve. This is a big issue with me. This is when I get on my soapbox. My question is, what can we tell people who are so confident and sure that they can? I've seen moms in my neighborhoods in minivans
I'll tell you what,
texting
officer, will you
at
get in
the
the car? Get in the
preschool
car with them.
parking
You
lot
want me
Go
to get
around,
in the
get
car
in
and
the car.
see? I'll get in the
Texting.
car with them.
while they're driving with their kids. What do we need to tell these people to convince them that they... Let me get my makeup out of the way, excuse me. What do we tell them to basically say, you know, you can't do this. You got kids in the car. There are moms doing this. There's dads doing this. Help me, please.
Well, this is why we have these campaigns like this, these national awareness distracted driving.
Do you need me to help you with any... What can I do to help you? I am very passionate about this.
Don't turn around and yell at your kids for anything. Pull over to the side.
Where's Erica?
Very good. Chrissy's got a
Yes.
question.
I have an idea. Google image texting and driving accident
Videos,
images.
Oh, yeah,
pictures,
that's
what can
Look
happen.
at some pictures. Google
Chrissy,
images.
you get in the car with them. Y'all continue the conversation.
Where
'cause
we